Welcome to the Common Man Football Show. My name is James Coburn, and today's episode, we're talking about the New York Giants versus Arizona Cardinals Week 16 matchup based on analytics. Each week, I collect all of the current 2017 NFL team data in order to analyze and project potential NFL performance. And since it's a weekly collection, there's always going to be some variation between various variables. However, there's always going to be little nuggets of truth that could become bigger nuggets of truth as the season continues. So stick around as I analyze each week's matchups based on analytics. And if you are new to the channel, all terms and definitions will be in the description. So, starting with this matchup between the Giants and the Cardinals. When you look at the NFL stat basic comparison data, and basic comparison data is just a general overview of how the offense is doing, how the defense is doing, and of course how the special teams is doing based on various different statistical team points. And when you look at this data, most of the overall data favors the Arizona Cardinals. But let's get into why. First off, the Cardinals do not necessarily have the best offense in every single category, but they do have it where it counts when it comes to offensive score percentage. So, for example, the Giants have a better turnover ratio, so they don't turn the football over as much, and the Giants also have a better sack percentage, meaning they don't allow as many sacks compared to the Cardinals. However, the Giants have consistently, this entire year, have had a terrible offensive score percentage. They just every time they get the ball, they're just not able to put points on the board. Whereas the Cardinals have been better than that. They've been about 3 times better than the Cardinals in that capacity. And that's kind of one reason why the Cardinals are favored, is that their offense definitely is not the most efficient. I mean, they turn the football over, they allow sacks, but they're still able to put points on the board more often than what the Giants have been able to do this year. On top of that, the Cardinals have the better defense. When it comes to defensive offensive score percentage, the Cardinals have it better there. Turnover ratio, the Cardinals are better there. Sack percentage, Cardinals are better there as well. And interceptions also go to the Cardinals in that particular area. So defensively speaking, all those bases are covered when it comes to defense for them. When it comes to overall data and the overall impact and all those other kind of factors. So definitely something to kind of consider there, when it comes to the Cardinals and the overall defense of them. And then, of course, when you get to special teams data, when you get to this particular area, the Cardinals are favored in terms of punt return yardage. Giants are favored in terms of kick return yardage. Defensive punt return yardage goes to the Giants. Defensive kick return yardage goes to the Cardinals. Field goal percentage goes to the Cardinals. Extra point percentage goes to the Giants. And punting average goes to the Cardinals. As far as who has the better special teams, as I say every single week, the biggest indicator in terms of winning football games in the NFL from a special team statistics standpoint is field goal percentage. The teams that typically have the better field goal percentage are going to win more games for the most part. And that just makes a lot of common sense, makes a lot of logical sense, because if you are a team that has the ability to consistently put 3 points on the board, you're going to win more football games, ultimately. So definitely that kind of factors into things there when you think about the Cardinals in terms of these various points. So overall, the Cardinals have the better offense where it counts. When it comes to putting points on the board, they have the better defense in terms of every single area of defensive statistics, and they have the better special teams in terms of the areas where it counts as well. So in many ways, that is kind of why the Cardinals are favored in this game, is because they have good data where it counts, where it matters, and of course they have overall a decent defense as well. Now, when you get into some other sort of areas, so now we're going to get into some micro matchups. So basically situational football is kind of another way to kind of explain it here. When you get into this particular area between the Cardinals offense and the Giants defense, the Giants defense is favored in terms of first and second down. So again, when it comes to completion percentage, those are the main areas where the Giants are going to be favored in terms of those particular downs and distances. And then, of course, you get to the Giants offense versus the Cardinals defense, where the Cardinals are favored in terms of first, second, and third down. So, again, kind of showing off that the Cardinals have potential to have a lot of success on defense because they're pretty decent at preventing completions compared to what the Giants are able to do. And then, of course, you get to rushing down. So this is basically first down conversion rate with the run. This doesn't really have anything to do with the ability to create first downs. It really doesn't have anything to do with with explosive plays. Or it doesn't have anything to do with like yardage and stuff like that. But it does have to do with creating first downs. That's the biggest thing that it has to deal with because if you are able to convert at a higher rate with the run on 1st and 10, for example, you score higher. If your defense is able to prevent first downs more often on first down compared to the rest of the NFL, you're going to score higher here. So it really just has to deal with the ability to prevent first downs in terms of these particular downs and distances. And in this area, the Giants' rushing defense is favored over the Cardinals. So definitely the Giants are kind of favored here in terms of that. And then, of course, you look at the Giants' rushing offense versus Cardinals' rushing defense, where the Cardinals are favored on 1st, 2nd, and 3rd down when it comes to these particular areas of that. So the Cardinals' defense is definitely favored here in terms of that. And, of course, we get to passing downs. So this is the Cardinals' passing offense versus Giants' passing defense, where the Cardinals have a slight advantage on 1st and 3rd down. I would say it is sort of even, but I will give a slight advantage to the Cardinals here. It is very close, but I would give a slight advantage to the Cardinals here based on the overall data. Then, of course, you get to the next area with the Giants passing offense versus Cardinals passing defense, where there is a clear distinction between the Cardinals passing D versus the Giants passing offense. So big advantage here for the Cardinals defense in that respect. And then, of course, you get to sack rates between the Cardinals offense and the Giants defense. In this particular area, the Giants defense is favored here. For the most part, the Cardinals are just not that great in terms of preventing sacks. So as much as the Giants have not been that amazing in terms of getting sacks too, I still think the Giants might actually get some sacks just because of how poor the Cardinals offense has played this year in terms of this particular area. And then, of course, you get to the Giants offense versus Cardinals defense when it comes to sack rate in terms of 2nd and 3rd down. So, again, this particular area, the Cardinals kind of are favored in terms of those, 2nd and 3rd down. So I do think the Cardinals should be able to get a couple sacks in those particular downs, especially 2nd down. That's probably the big down and distance to kind of pay attention to because of the big disparity between the Giants offense and the Cardinals defense in terms of the ability to create sacks and prevent sacks. Then, of course, you get to interception ratio between the Cardinals offense and Giants defense, where the Giants are favored on 1st and 3rd down. So the Giants might have some success getting some picks in this game. And then finally, you get to the Giants offense versus Cardinals defense, where the Cardinals are favored on 1st and 2nd down. So the Cardinals also have kind of a more likely chance of getting interceptions and picks in this game. So overall, general impressions of this game. I think it's going to be a Cardinals victory. This is definitely a game that could go either way because both of these teams are not that amazing. Both these teams are not great. They're not amazing. But I would say that the Cardinals do have some advantages when it comes to having the defense. It's also at home. So it's a home game for them as well, so that might kind of factor into things too. But I just think when you look at the overall data, it does favor the Cardinals. I think the Cardinals are just better in terms of putting points on the board. They're not perfect. They allow sacks. They turn the football over too much. I mean, there's a lot of things to kind of consider in this game. But overall, I do think that the Cardinals get the victory here. But let me know in the comment section below, who do you believe is going to win this football game? And of course, my name is James Coburn. You can find my other work at draftcoburn.wordpress.com. You can also follow me on Twitter at Geometrics. And if you like this content and you want more content like this, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Share this video as well with anybody that you know. Hit that notification button so that you're always reminded when another one of my videos drop. And I will talk to you guys in the next video. Peace.